Okay guys, it's snowing outside. You guys can't see it. I need to walk to my window. It's snowing outside, and this is a long update slash analysis that's long overdue actually. It is for these games. Kingdom Hearts as a series. That's not the one I wanted to show. This one I want to show. PS3 version that I own. And the collector's one too. I don't know if that's the collector's or not. But Kingdom Hearts. Good series. Good screen game too. Kingdom Hearts, this is this is Kingdom Hearts 1 and Chain of Memories, right? Yeah, 1 and Chain of Memories. I haven't played these games in a while. I did a stream of 3 a long time ago. 1's alright. It's a PS2 game, so I can't really complain all that much. And, you know, it's a good, enjoyable ride, right? Right. To do this in chronological order, yeah, I like Kingdom Hearts 1. It's good. Not anything really bad, but not anything good to say. It's a kind of neutral game for me. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, I don't personally like it, but I've played it a good amount of times. I think, like, once on the PS2, and both campaigns, there's 2 campaigns. Once on the PS2, once on Game Boy, but only Sora's campaign. Game Boy Advance, actually. Once for the PS3, both editions, so that's 5, no, 6 we're at, right? So 6, and then twice over for stream. So I played that, I guess 7 times. So, Chain Memories, actually no, yeah, Chain Memories. Not really a bad game, but not really a great game. I feel okay about that. Next up, Kingdom Hearts 2.5. This is Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix, and we're not counting Recoded because you can't play that. Kingdom Hearts 2? Pretty rad. I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoy Kingdom Hearts 2. I think it's the best aesthetically, but not the best story-wise. I like Kingdom Hearts 2 in the way of it's a game I can kind of go back to and, like, maybe beat it within an afternoon and kind of not care about it. That's just how I feel about Kingdom Hearts 2, and it's a good game, good time waster too. Story-wise, it's also pretty good, because you got Roxas and kind of the idea of Sora and Roxas being separated and whatnot. Not bad. Birth by Sleep, I would say that's probably my favorite story-wise game, because it ties a lot of the stuff together in the sense of, hey, this is where the origins are. This is how Sora, Riku, and all of them got their Keyblades. So, Birth by Sleep, pretty good story-wise. I like story-wise, and I would say, once again, if not Kingdom Hearts 2, that'll probably be my favorite Kingdom Hearts story-wise game. 2.8. Freaking PS4. Dream Drop, which I thought was alright. It was decent for a Kingdom Hearts game, I guess. Can't really say anything about Dream Drop because I played it twice, once on the 3DS and once on the 2.8 here. And then we have a fancy demo of Birth by Sleep 0.2. It's a demo. That's all it really is. It's just a demo. And then there's a movie at the end of it, which I never bothered watching. So, Kingdom Hearts, I think it's alright. Now, oh god, I'm not excited to say this. I know I've made my points very clear on Twitter and whatever Discord I'm on, usually talking to people. I am not a fan of Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3, holy cow. You're probably thinking, why is that? The music's great, graphics are good. It's not really because of the graphics, even though I do like the cartoonish style that the other games had. It was done in the Unreal Engine, so I mean, kind of to be predicted. And like, the problem is, the Unreal Engine has a lot of good support and whatnot. So like, once again, me personally, just not a big fan of the graphics. But what I do have a problem with is the story. Now, I know I'm not like the huge Kingdom Hearts fan that people think I am. I've only played the remakes and a little bit of the DS stuff with Recoded. I played a bit of Recoded. I never played Days. I never played any of the other. I think there's 3 on the DS. No, there's 2. Recoded and crap, what's it called? Recoded and Days. I never played those two games, sadly, because I actually been told they're good games. I just never got around. Well, I got around playing Recoded, and I got stuck in the first world-ish area. Stuff happened, and I couldn't defeat Hades for some reason. Okay, but going back to Kingdom Hearts 3, the reason I don't like it is actually a very big reason why I like the other Kingdom Hearts games. You know, as dumb as the story is, it's the story. They rush you through the... Well, I guess how I play it, the entire stream is on my YouTube channel, so if you guys ever want to look it up and have my first thoughts of the game, that's my first thoughts. But I'm rewatching the Pro Jared playthrough of it on stream, the stream archives that he uploaded. And he's just kind of rebutting, he's kind of bringing up the idea that I have, where it's like, Pro Jared said it the best, where, you know, you had your basic concept, and then they added side concepts that counteract the main concept. And I don't really enjoy that, because it's just like, that's kind of taken away from the point of basically a giant war between light and darkness. It's like, it's whatever. Kingdom Hearts 3 story kind of, what it feels like is kind of a final standoff in the wrong way. So for those who don't know, and for those who don't follow media, Kingdom Hearts 3 was supposed to be the end of the Xehanort Saga, and it did end with the Xehanort Saga. I won't give any story spoilers because the game's still fairly new. But I just want to say this for a rainy day, just because I'll get it done and out of my way. So basically how you start off with is right after Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Dissonance, which, as I said, alright game, not really a great game. And you kind of go around the world, you do your stuff, you do your... God, it's so weird trying to do this without spoiling the story for you guys. But yeah, you go around the world, you do what you need to do. But the problem is, there's like no like side modes. As much as people dislike it, the Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep had the Monopoly / Fortune Street setup, where like, oh, you're getting bored of the story, here's a side mode, or the arena. You had two various side modes that kind of felt like the game was still progressing in a way that you'd want it to. And as someone who's, well, I've never 100%ed Birth by Sleep, but I'm pretty dang close on one of my files. I think it's my... Is it my PS3 file or my PS4 file? I can't remember. So yeah, it just kind of... There's none of that. And it's kind of weird because, like, you're thinking, oh, like, you're going to be super underleveled, right? Not really the case. And, like, as I said, I'm not going to go into story details. I'll probably do a separate Kingdom Hearts 3 thing for story and whatnot, and how I feel about the story. But I guess this is getting more of the mechanics and how stuff works. So during the battles, you get an option to hit a certain enemy that has an icon on him. So you hit them, you get your power up, whatever. The problem was with that happens like every couple of minutes, and for most of them, you're invulnerable. I think the only one you're not invulnerable in is the Toy Blaster, if I'm not mistaken. That's like one of the only ones you're not invulnerable in. And then not to mention you have your ally attacks. You remember that in Kingdom Hearts 2? I sure as heck do, because those were actually kind of fun and nice to look at. The ally attacks in this game cost no MP, so there's no like repercussion of like, oh, I should probably strategically think about how to use this. It's more like, oh, you were given it, here you go. And you could realistically beat the game like super under level like I did just doing that. Like even I think in the final fight you could do that. So yeah, stuff happens and that's it. So like gameplay, it just felt very lukewarm. I'm not a huge fan of it. And once again, I probably should give a little bit more story, because okay, I know it's a super late world and people who watch me probably see me play it anyways. There are worlds I did like. I think the biggest one that came into my mind that I liked was Big Hero 6. That's only because I watched the movie and I'm a fan of the animated style they went for Big Hero 6. And it kind of blended itself really well with Kingdom Hearts 3, but at the same time, I felt like that world was like super tiny and nothing really happened. And this is also a problem I have with just games in general. Like, it's not just Kingdom Hearts that falls under this category. Skyrim, I wouldn't say Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild actually fixes that, in my opinion. But, it kind of goes in the sense of every world feels super empty. Now, talking to a friend of mine who actually did 100% that game, thankfully I don't have to do it, he told me certain things about going back to the world and, like, doing certain things that give you side stuff. But going back to what my friend said, and I'm quoting this from my Monster Hunter Part 79 stream, I believe, he said it wasn't worth it. And all it gave you was a little bit of story fragments that we already knew were going down. And once again, just Kingdom Hearts 3, in comparison to like Kingdom Hearts 2, for an example, where I thought it was aesthetically really pleasing, Kingdom Hearts 2 would win in a Kingdom Hearts, like, the final epic conclusion, or kind of this middle road. I'll go for the middle road. It just felt like a better game. And also, the entire worlds that you played in other Kingdom Hearts games. The biggest one being Twilight Town from Kingdom Hearts 2. Twilight Town in Kingdom Hearts 3 is super tiny. It's kind of upsetting because it's just like, Twilight Town had like this cool, chill atmosphere, and I was cool with that being like the side quest hub, or like more, you know, here's where you come to like kick back for a bit. You only really have to go into Twilight Town, I think, twice in the main story. Actually, it could just be once, I think. Because I think it's just once for the main story, and then you're pretty much done. You don't have to come back to it unless you want to do side stuff. Which I did, and it wasn't really worth it. So yeah, Big Hero 6, Big Hero 6 world I liked. I liked a few of the worlds, but it's like so in between and not really. I can't give you guys a true reason without spoiling the story and doing all that, so I'll probably wait for a later date to do a story recap and how I thought that fell on its face. Oh, I mean, I could give you guys a little bit of an idea right now. It's basically, hey, Sora's the main focus, and Sora should not be the main focus. I am sorry. I would have liked more characters to be more developed in the sense of story. For those who've played Kingdom Hearts in general, I would have liked Kairi to have a little more screen time and maybe a couple, like, oh, this is how I'm going to, like, try to be so I'm not, like, a burden on anyone. And that role really fell on Axel, or the lead, depending on what thing you're looking at. And I just didn't really like how they portrayed the story, where it was like, standard girl character, standard boy character. Like, the worst part is the touching scene in Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm not spoiling it, but you guys know what I mean by touching scene for those who played it or at least watched my playthrough of it. The touching scene wasn't really that touching. It was more, oh, this is it. This is how we do. And, like, it's more robotic, I feel like, in Kingdom Hearts 3, like, story progression-wise. It's definitely what I felt like, very robotic, where it's not fluent, it's not, like, playful banter between Donald, Sora, and Goofy. It's more, Sora says something comedic, Donald has a rebuttal, and Goofy's just Goofy. So, like, that's the problem I had with it, where it's just, like, it didn't feel fun, it didn't feel inspiring. It was just more, okay, go out the door, you're done. Here's the game you guys wanted for 17 years, I think. Like, that's really what it felt like. It didn't really feel like there was a lot of love or care to that game. It was just more, here we go. And once again, I'm comparing this to Kingdom Hearts 2, the one I found most aesthetically pleasing and the one that I actually had the most fun with. So, I feel like that's injustice, but I'm also looking at this from other game perspectives. I'm looking at this from Birth by Sleep, where the story, like comes together and you're all in it, like, together. And then I'm looking at it from, like, even, like, Dream Drop Distance with, like, even Square Enix characters. Oh, Kingdom Hearts 3 had no Square Enix characters, actually. No active Square Enix characters. They have references to them, but there's no active Square Enix characters. I feel like that also could have been like a drawing point, because in Kingdom Hearts, ooh, dear God. Actually, which game? Actually, no, they all had Kingdom Hearts-ish character, or that's great, Final Fantasy characters. So, yeah, like it was just super weird because I feel like Leon would have had something to say. And don't get me wrong, like Leon is overdone in that game, but let's count it. Kingdom Hearts 1, you had Yuffie, Cid, Aerith, Cloud, Squall, or Leon, or whatever his name is. I can't remember the rest of them. And then those characters return in Kingdom Hearts 2, which is back on the PS2. They show up in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Well, no, sorry, Zack shows up in Birth by Sleep. I don't think any of the other characters show up in Birth by Sleep. But Zack is still related to Final Fantasy. So what I'm saying is, the story, once again, just felt really rushed, and I don't want to drag on this little My Thought video on longer than it has to be. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts as a whole, like the Xehanort Saga, I thought it was alright. Minus Kingdom Hearts 3, obviously. So, I mean, you guys could yell at me in the comments, you guys could tell me your opinions, I said my opinions, and that's how I'm going to do.